Hey guys, this is Hannah and this is Bookworms Talk. And today we're going to talk about Grounded by R.K. Lilley, the third in the Up in the Air series. This book says the things that haven't been said in the other books, and there are realizations and there's a lot of growth. And more James being James. I get to not like James, I get to like James. Words. There are lots of words that I love. This continues on in James and Bianca's story, and there are choices that certain ones make that aren't characteristic to them. And there's so much growth in their relationship, and I can't even give you a legitimate summary without giving things away. So this is a really short, non-spoiler section because that's it. So I'm sorry about that, but it's kind of hard to do when it's the third one in the series and things happen and I can't tell you about them because I don't even want to announce a spoiling to happen. So I'll see you guys later when you have read it. Just came out, I read it fast, it was amazing. Okay, bye. So apologies in advance, my neighbors have decided to tear down every tree in their front yard, and that's what you hear. James scared me a couple times in this book. Like, I was actually afraid of him and I didn't like him a lot of times, but then obviously his spiel of I love you in the bathtub totally made up for that, without a doubt. But when they had that conversation with Scott, I was like, and then he came back, like, in her office and he uses the roses on her, which is harsh, and he says, wipe that fucking scared look off your face. I was like, who are you? I mean, he was borderline forcing himself on her. She was obviously not, like, just because you're pleasuring her doesn't mean she's okay with it, you know? As you wish, Buttercup! I thought that was the first time that was said in the series. And then I was like, whoa, wait a second. I remember this. So I go through and I search the magic of a Kindle, and I find that it was in the first book. I was so mad at myself. How did I not catch that before? Because as you wish means, in the context of The Princess Bride, I love you. And how did I not catch that? And I went back and I found it in flight. And it was like, that was so early on in their relationship, but he knew it. And it was As You Wish, and it was I love you, and I was freaking out. There was a new nightmare where James was in her nightmare that she's had through all the books. And I was like, please don't be foreshadowing, please don't be foreshadowing. James can tell by the sound of her voice when she's been painting. Just, oh. I did buy Javier's story, like I really did. Before Stefan was totally buying it, I was like, that does make sense. When she said that she loved him after the nightmare, and he said that why he hasn't said it before to her was because he hasn't loved anybody since his parents. And he didn't want to be met with rejection the first time he said it. There's this hugely long, beautiful quote. I'll start with your eyes. I fell in love with those first. One look was like a punch to the gut. You have these ageless eyes on such a young face. I just knew you had seen bad things, lived bad things from the very start. I knew that you could understand pain, understand loneliness and despair, understand feeling hopeless and helpless and alone. I fell in love with your eyes first because I looked into their depths and saw the other half of my soul. And then she basically throws that back at him later, and that was beautiful as well, and I will stick all of that down there because I loved it so much. I had no godly idea what those phone calls were about, and all I could think was don't pull a Gideon Cross. I could see it happening, and don't, because I can only imagine the amount of things that will happen with the third book of that, and I can take it if this is it, because there's not that much left. I've gone absolutely teary-eyed from James's terrible romantic streaks, and then I've been pissed, and I'm just like, can we find some middle ground? I'm getting whiplash here. Murphy's like, player's gonna play. Another Murphyism. Did I mention how I like him so much? Red Wings. Oh, no. 1,000 times no. Let's get through this book without you earning your Red Wings, okay? That's a taboo that I can't go there. When she went to go see Spin, and without security, without your phone, without anything. Are you serious? Something bad is gonna happen, and James will be pissed if nothing bad does happen, and I don't even feel bad for you because you are going to be punished. She was asking for it. Guys, do you know how big nipple piercing needles are? To put it in perspective, belly button piercings. You know the needle that they use for that? Pretty much the same thing. Ouch! And I mean, I felt like it was over like this, and she freaked out more when she was getting spanked. Like, that hurts more than spanking. All I can think is, ow! And then after that, he's like, morning love. I'm like, whoa, whiplash. So it was his sex tape video that had him freaking out this whole time. Here I am thinking it is so much worse. I mean, when she watched it, it was worse than what I was thinking, but you know, it wasn't that bad. I understand the way that he was acting, how she would react, because, you know, she runs from everything. So I understand what he did, but at the same time, like, like, he's always been the one with the honesty, so that was a little weird for him to have a secret. When James said, "I love you more than life," Bianca got worried because it sounded like some self-sacrificing kind of thing. And I'm like, about time you got there. I've been there the whole book. You can grab a room in 4A next door, come over for coffee. What the fuck? A tattoo now? A tattoo? I thought that's what the nipple piercings were for. You know how he's like, I'll get a tattoo, you get your nipples pierced. Like, it was a joke, but he was serious. And now you have a tattoo? I'm fine with that now. Like, I'm totes cool with the tattoo thing now, guys. But that's not, that was what the piercings were for. All I could think is you are going to have a fun time trying to sleep. You can't sleep on your back because the tattoo will hurt, and then you can't really sleep sideways because your boobs will hurt, or you can't sleep that was just gonna be all kinds of fun to see how she would sleep. And a thing that I have to say, she's willing to get a tattoo, but the idea of marriage scares her. I'm sorry, guys, I'm gonna sound like a cynic, but a tattoo is a lot more permanent than marriage these days. Just saying. That's a lot more permanent. Like I said before, I was hoping to get out of this book without him earning his red wings, but I was wrong. Yeah, thanks. I needed that. Oh my gosh, and James with Elliot, that was there on purpose. It is there to bring my mind there. There will be children. I know it. That was not just there to make me swoon. He timed the hike for the proposal at sunset, the controlling man he is. When Jules approaches Bianca in the bathroom and she basically gives her a swirly, I was like, toilet, head in the toilet. That was hilarious. When there was the noise on the phone and it ended up being her father, and she just kept saying, "James, I love you, James, I love you," like something bad is gonna happen, something really, really, really bad is gonna happen. When Stefan was shot, he can't die. It's Stefan. No, there weren't even tears. I was just this cold amount of shock. No, he isn't dead. And then it goes to his perspective, and then it says he blacks out. And I'm still just in totally tearless shock. He can't. It's Stefan. No. And then we go to James's perspective, and I'm a blubbering baby. I completely lost it. Completely unhinged. Oh my god, I can't even begin to feel my things, my emotions, my everything. I'm like, they all have to live, because Bianca can't without Stefan. And then if Bianca doesn't, neither can Stefan, and neither can James, and everything's just gonna be miserable. Everyone needs to live, okay? You can't do this to me. I'm at like 95%. I can't take that. And then the ceremony. I easily held it together then. I was very proud of myself. But then when James had his lines that he wanted added in, oh, the waterworks began. Now there's no more loneliness for you. Because before, with that hugely long quote that I loved so much, and how he's just like, you understand loneliness, you understand helplessness, and they both did that, and they were the other half of each other's souls. And then it jumps to 5 years later, which I love, because 5 years was enough time. I had no doubt in my mind that he would convince her to having a child, because he's very persuasive. He gets what he wants, and I was very happy with the time span. And with the baby, I knew Stefan's name would be in there somewhere. I knew it. And I love that child's name. And thank God it doesn't have Archibald or something that he had in his name. Duncan Stefan Cavendish. That was the, I can imagine what that child would look like. I'm just like, I have a picture. Just his eyes. It's all like, just, if they have his eyes, I don't, anything else. It was a beautiful conclusion. It's like that air of, and it was content in a happy way, and you knew what things would happen, but you knew they would work out, and it was just peace. I got to like him at the ending, and I was mad at him for a while in the book, and I was a little worried by him, but he was back to regular James at the end, which I enjoyed. So let me know you guys' thoughts on it. Let me know your favorite book in this series, your favorite quotes. I'll see you guys later next time on Bookworms Talk. Bye! There's nothing there. Mow that lawn. Cut that tree. Make lots of noise. It's a construction site in my neighborhood. Is there an earthquake or something that I'm not aware of? Fucking hell! Are there 3 saws going on right now? Yep, there are 3. Great.